Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Sunday, September 6, 2015, around 4:42 in the afternoon, Berwick, Massachusetts. Another low humidity day, a little bit breezy and stuff. Temperatures creeping up a little bit, but it's comfortable. This week's going to be a heat wave and humid temperatures, maybe some relief by next weekend. Some news to report: Boston Red Sox swept the Philadelphia Phillies by a score of 6-2. Big Papi David Ortiz hit his 497th home run. He's 3 away from 500. The Phillies are the worst team in baseball this year. They suck. Red Sox coming on strong that last month of the season, but they were not going to make the playoffs. And it's happy National Read a Book Day. I love reading books. And happy National Coffee Ice Cream Day. I used to get coffee ice cream at the Old Friendlies in Berwick. That's about it on the news. My next video blog subject of the night is about MBTA, commuter rail stop, North Station in Boston, Massachusetts. North Station is the commuter rail stop where like 5 lines terminate there for the commuter rail line. The Fitchburg South Acton line, the Lowell line, the Haverhill Reading line, the Newbury Rockport line, and the Downeaster to Maine and stuff. And it's one of the most busiest train stations in the United States. And the history of Boston's North Station: it was built in 1893. It was called Boston's North Union Station and was located near the Charles River and near Causeway Street in Boston and stuff. And at one time, North Station had 22 railroad tracks, and many of these trains would go all over the place. Some of the railroad tracks now are gone. It was located where the old Spalding Rehab Centers is, and a parking lot for like the TD Garden and stuff, and right by Nashua Street and stuff. And all of these 22 railroad lines were like, you could take a train from Boston to Troy, New York, or Burlington, Vermont, or Montreal, Quebec, Canada, up to the White Mountains, up to Manchester, and Concord, New Hampshire, to Portland, Maine, to Dover, New Hampshire, to Portland, Maine, Bangor, Maine, Presqu'Isle, Maine, the Canadian Maritimes, and it was pretty busy and stuff like that. Boston's North Station was really convenient because once trains pulled in, when the old Boston Garden was built in 1928, it was convenient because the fans from the north suburbs of Boston and beyond could go right straight to Boston Garden to see the Boston Celtics or the Boston Bruins or any other Boston Garden event and stuff like that. And by the late 1950s, they were consolidating the tracks at Boston's North Station because the interstate highway was taken over, and many of the long train rides for Boston's North Stations were being cut down to commuter rail lines. And most of the commuter rail lines were like the Fitchburg and South Acton. There was a commuter rail line that would go to South Sudbury, Massachusetts, one that goes to Bedford, Massachusetts, one to Lowell and Woburn, and Haverhill and Reading, and Newburyport and Rockport line. The ones that would go far away would be cut back by the 60s and stuff like that. And Boston's North Station continued to be like mainly a commuter rail stop and for years and stuff like that. Eventually, it became down to like 4 commuter rail lines by the late 1970s and stuff like that. And Boston's North Station in 1995 was kind of relocated because of the building of the TD Garden. Once you get off of Boston's North Station, you're basically at the TD Garden. That was pretty amazing and stuff like that. And the wait area for the North Station and stuff was very, very small. They had a couple of places you could go in and eat. There was like a couple of times an old gourmet sub shop and a pizza place and stuff. At one time there was a Strawberries where the Boston Bruins Pro Shop used to be, but eventually the pizza place and the sub shop were replaced by a McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts and stuff. And once you get out of North Station, you could go to Causeway Street and stuff, walk to like Mass General Hospital or the Science Museum or Cambridge Galleria if you go over the Charles River Bridge and stuff, or you could take, walk to Faneuil Hall and stuff, or you could get on the Green Line and Orange Line and go to like Downtown Crossing or Point Beyond or to Fenway Park or stuff. Real convenient stuff like that. Plus there's a couple buses you could take if you want to go to like Charlestown and stuff, which is nearby. And if you want to go to South Station, you could take a taxi there and stuff like that. I used to get off of like North Station a lot when I took the train to go to 222 Friend Street, Hooters of Boston. 966 times I went there. So anyway, like the North Station in Boston for years was very, very compact. When it was real busy for rush hour and stuff like that, there wasn't any room and stuff. And then they decided in 2005 to double the size of the waiting area of Boston's North Station and stuff. It took about a year and stuff. Once it did, there was more space to wait for a train and stuff. Plus, they added a lot of new stuff in the waiting area. They added a small bar where you could get a drink or a small sandwich. They had another Dunkin' Donuts, an ice cream place, a place to get like scratch tickets or magazines or newspapers, and a pizza place and stuff like that. And also around that time there was a big giant screen to see when your train was coming for the commuter rail and stuff like that, or the down east and stuff like that. So Boston's North Station's really grown a lot since the 2000s to become very, very big and stuff like that. And it's a convenient place to there. If you're waiting for the train, you could get a drink, or you could get a pizza, or get Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, or have an ice cream or something like that. So Boston's North Station is a great place for the commuter rail and stuff like that. And that's about it on Boston's North Station. I'll be back for the third and final video blog of the night, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And it's going to be about Baseball Hall of Famer Tom Seaver, also known as Tom Terrific. And tomorrow, only 2 video blogs. But the first video blog I'm going to do tomorrow, this is an idea that I got from a podcast I listened to about professional wrestling. They were talking about changing 2 wrestlers' gimmicks and stuff, switching them roles, and I have this idea I'm going to take for my first podcast. My first video blog tomorrow. What if Terry Taylor and Kurt Hennig switched their gimmicks around in the WWE in the late 80s. Terry Taylor was the Red Rooster and Kurt Hennig was Mr. Perfect. But if we switch those around, like Terry Taylor be Mr. Perfect and Kurt Hennig be the Red Rooster, I'll tell you how these gimmicks would have like worked out for both wrestlers and stuff like that. It would be interesting. And that's about it. Keep calm, everybody. And I'm a Julie Brennan guy. Julie Brennan's News 6, Orlando, Florida. She rocks and has nice legs. Molly Rosenblatt, the Fox 35, rocks too. And Elizabeth Hutt has a nice smile and great legs. And in the words of Sean Lucha, get out. Bye now.